The sun rose slow on a broken town. Factories closed, machines shut down. Promises made, but none were kept. Dreams turned to dust while the people wept. 90 days of fleeting chance, a lifeline lost in a reckless dance. The clock ran out, now it's too late. Unemployment's the cruelest fate. The tariffs came, they hit like a storm. Families braced to keep their homes warm. A pause was given, a moment to act, but the time was wasted, that's a hard fact. 90 days of fleeting chance, a lifeline lost in a reckless dance. The clock ran out, now it's too late. Unemployment's the cruelest fate. Leaders spoke with words so grand, but their hollow deeds we can't withstand. The people begged, the people cried. Now hope's a stranger on this side. Misery's knocking, poverty's near, a future clouded by doubt and fear. If only they'd fought to make things right, we wouldn't be lost in this endless night. Under the southern sun, the green and gold shine bright. On the field of honor they battle with all their might. From the scrums to the tries, they always find their way. Springboks rising higher day after day. Springboks just win, win, win. They can't be denied. With the Webb Ellis Cup, they're filled with pride. The greatest rugby nation, standing tall and true, better than the rest in every test they pursue. From the dusty fields to the world stage they've roared. Legends carved in history, their spirits soared. In the hearts of a nation, they ignite the flame. Every tackle, every try, echoing their name. Springboks just win, win, win. They can't be denied. With the Webb Ellis Cup, they're filled with pride. The greatest rugby nation, standing tall and true, better than the rest in every test they pursue. Through the dogs just win, win, win. They can't be denied. With the Webb Ellis Cup, they're filled with pride. The greatest rugby nation, standing tall and true, better than the rest in every test they pursue.
Down by the lot near the old cafe where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks skill? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes form a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Find them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this line here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew. Yeah, who you gonna call's in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks skill? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes form a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Find them twice and be the man. Find them twice and be the man. Find them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this line here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
I mean, it's just insane. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, get a grip. I mean, honestly, people have no idea what's involved here. A thorough background investigation must be completed. You have to prove who you are, where you're from, what you're saying is true. That has to take place. There's an administrative process that has to take place. Interviews have to be conducted. Medical screening has to be done. All this stuff takes time.
Marvin Devine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Well, hey there, folks. Welcome back. It is Monday, June 30th, 2025, and you've just heard the Car Guard Crew. Yes, that was from Annalise. She put that one together. That's brilliant. And, of course, we heard the Springbok song before that. But, hey, why not one more before we get going, folks? One more before we really get into the news here. Thanks to 500 people currently here. Just one more song. One more song before we get going.
Go on by, say whatever. Hop to the left, Bunny's on the scene. First so clean, move sharp, he's mean. Eyes like fire, trolls start to quake. Mess with the bunny, big mistake. Take her off, bunny, protect her of peace. Jump into the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Bugger off, bunny, protect her of peace. Jump into the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Colonel's right hand and ear standing tall. One thumb from the foot sends him to the wall. Carrots in the pocket, wisdom in his paw. Trolls see the bunny, drop their jaw. Bounce, 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 the rhythm don't stop. Trolls try to climb, but the bunny's on top. Guarded the guardian, defender of the land. The bugger off bunny with the master plan. Bugger off bunny. Into the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Swift as a shadow, silent in the night. Trolls meet the bunny, then they take flight. Ears like antennas, catching every sound. The bugger off bunny, king of the ground.
You're listening to the Bugger Off Bunny on Radio Free Pennsylvania with the Wyatt Army. Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Another hit from the band that made reggae big in PA, the Wyatt Army. Welcome back. Pleasure to have you join us once again here on today's broadcast. Welcome to the station as we come to the airwaves around the planet. Always a pleasure to have you back once again. The Bugger Off Bunny and the Car Guard Crew. All right, we've had our fun. It's time to get started. Yeah, that's going to make a music channel here. I'm going to have to do music shows. All these tunes, man, I have to mix them all, right? You got the Bugger Off Bunny. All we need is Screw You, Troll Tortoise. That's pretty good. All right, folks. Hey, welcome back to the program on Monday, June 30th. Man, the year is halfway gone. It's halfway gone. Wyatt Army Radio. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Wyatt Army Radio. Well, a lot of chat going on over here. 40 is the chat rate. You guys are cranking it up. I can't even say hello to everybody, so I'm not going to make that effort. It's just way too many comments over here. Edward Gaba says, music news, refugee updates, triple threat guy. There you go, folks. All right, let's get to the news. The Democratic Alliance. Boy, I took some heat from trolls. Oh, you're so disrespectful to the DA. You're mocking them. I'm sorry. Did they deserve to be praised for Saturday's performance? Did they deserve to be praised? All right, okay. I'll fix that, guys. Okay, I'll fix it. Okay, ready? Okay. Hello, my name is Tian Poindexter. I am from South Africa. I watched the Democratic Alliance's performance on Saturday. I was so impressed. It was really amazing. The ultimatum that they offered to the president of South Africa was impressive. It was truly impressive. I was so excited to see them stand up for everyday South Africans. They're truly amazing. It was a jolly good show by the Democratic Alliance. They held their ground. They stood firm. They will not back down. They will determine the future of South Africa. I was so impressed. I must tell you that as a uber liberal leftist hate wanker living in Sandton, I found it to be quite compelling. The DA was amazing. It was a jolly good show. Oh, I loved it. Anyway, yeah. Is that better? Does that meet your worldview now, you hate wankers? Good God. Hey, for the DA trolls whose feelings are hurt, say hello to my little friend, Bob, the bugger off bunny. Yep. Oh, man. Seriously. It was a jolly good show. Seriously. Look, I mean, there was no special animosity towards the Democratic Alliance, simply a valid analysis of that weak-willed, pathetic performance. I mean, they embarrassed themselves. The intemperate decision, well, I'm giving the president $48. Dude, you work for him. Did you miss that memo? I'm sorry, not to pick on the Minister of Agriculture, but hey, President Cabinet, you work for him, just like Pete Hegseth works for Donald Trump. And Enja Mocheka works for whoever the hell she's getting paid by this week. I don't know who she works for. Anyway, you work for him. If you want to make a stand, then you must resign as the leader of you must resign as agriculture minister and become the leader of the Democratic Party. You can't do both. Joe Cruiser, thank you for the 21 Rand super chat. Man, people just have it. I tell you what, the problem is people don't hear what they want to hear and their feelings get hurt. You think I want to hear that we're going to cut programs that are important? You think I want to hear that we're going to cut HIV funding? I want it to be pared down over time to make people dependent on themselves, not on us, but just cutting it cold. So do I just go take my toys and throw them out of the pram? No, I can't throw the bugger off bunny out of the pram. Maybe get hurt. We couldn't hurt my friend, the bugger off bunny. Those ears wouldn't stand up. They'd be floppy. Seriously, people don't hear what they want to hear, and they just, I'm out of here. You know what you're talking about. You're just, oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, man, I don't know what to tell you. But it was predictable. I expected that, coming out for me. And, when I say good things about Democratic Alliance, which I said for many, many, many years, they just ignore that. All right, let's get to the news. Ladies and gentlemen, on this Monday, Trump says he will fire off a letter to all the trade partners. Hello. Excuse me, African National Congress, Government of National Unity. Here's your letter. You're screwed. Yeah, you better get jobs as car guards because your economy's going down the crapper, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, 31% tariffs are inbound to South Africa. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be gleeful about that. I'm certainly not. It's not good. It's not good at all. It's going to be bad mojo for South Africa's industries, for its agriculture, for its automobile industry. It is not a good thing. 31% tariffs. Wow, it's coming. And Trump is sending letters out. He's not going to pause them. He said, we're going to go with it. You're going to go with it. So, man, this is not good for South Africa. And the ANC is whistling past the cemetery, along with the Democratic Alliance and the Government of National Unity, the PA, Freedom Front Plus. Who else is in that thing? The Good Party? Yes. Oh, we haven't heard from Brett Herron lately. What's he complaining about? I'm sure he's got something to complain about. Usually it's about the DA, just like Herman Mashaba and Michael Beaumont. Oh, we're so great. And the DA's bad. Okay, thanks for your input. Wow. Yeah, what do they want after such poor performance? A lollipop? Exactly. Trump says U.S. to send tariff letters to trade partners before the July 9th deadline. Trump announced plans to notify countries they will be continuing trading with the U.S., but they will face substantial tariffs. On his Truth, he was actually on Truth Social. He was on the Sunday Morning Fixtures with Maria Bartiromo on Fox News. I'd rather just send them a letter, very fair letter, saying, congratulations, we're going to allow you to trade in the United States of America. You're going to pay a 25% tariff or a 20% or a 40 or 50%. I'd rather do that. Ouch. And we'll say, we would consider it a great honor, and this is what you'll have to do to shop in the U.S. We wish you a lot of luck. That's the end of the trade deal. Ow. Ooh, man, that is not good. That is not good. Yeah, I didn't see that thing with Helen Zilla. I'm going to have to watch that, and then I'm just going to... what world are these people living in? AGOA is gone. It's gone. You know what? This is one time I would love to be proved wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven that AGOA still exists after 30 September. Please prove me wrong. I will eat my lunch. Well, yeah, I'll get a burger and we'll sit here and eat lunch. Make me wrong. Prove me wrong. Hey, Jacques. Prove me wrong. Please do that. These people are delusional. They have no idea what's going on in the real world. AGOA? Wow. AGOA is over. It's so over. Don't test us, says Helen. Helen Zilla tells the EFF, tells the ANC, don't test us. She warns Ron Posa that tabling a no confidence motion in him, not an idle threat. Ooh. Hell hath no fury like a federal chairperson denied. Helen Zilla is ready to bring the hammer to the ANC. The only problem is she doesn't have the votes. She doesn't have the votes. All right, let's run through it. She needs 201 votes to unseat him in a vote of no confidence. So the ANC has 159 votes, and Gate McKenzie is up the backside of the ANC, so he's going to vote with them. That gives him another 9, plus the Good Party, the Good for Nothing Party will also vote. That's 10. Gives the ANC 169 votes. They just need 32 to keep him from being unseated. DA has 87 votes. Obviously, the Freedom Front Plus will vote with them. Takes them 93. MK just cannot wait to see the backside of Cyril Ramaphosa walking out the door. They will vote with the DA, most likely. The EFF, they're salivating. They will vote. And the ACD people probably vote. That brings 5 parties and a total of 193 votes. Too short. So, it's unclear what will happen with the Inkatha Freedom Party, the UDM under Bantu Holomisa, Rise Mzansi, and Action SA, and BOSA. Unclear what they'll do. IFP has 17. They could turn the tide. UDM doesn't have votes. Rise doesn't have enough votes. Action SA doesn't have votes. But Action SA hates the DA and will do everything they can to scupper anything the DA does, including a vote no confidence against an incompetent president. So you can count on Action SA probably not going with it. Bossa is still bum hurt. Musi Maimani, he probably won't go with it. Rise Mzansi, they don't know what they want to do from day to day, so you can't count on it. Bantu Holomisa is a perfect dratsitter, great gentleman, fantastic human being, but he's a dratsitter. He sits on the fence a lot of the time. So take those 3 out. That means the only party here that can help unseat is the IFP. So it all comes down to Velenkosi Khalabisa from the IFP and what will happen. There are 5 parties that will definitely not vote to unseat Ramaphosa. The Patriotic Alliance, Gate McKenzie loves Cyril. He loves Cyril. He said so. I love my president. His words, not mine. So that's 9. Al-Jamaa, those lunatics, they aren't going to vote for it. The Good for Nothing Party, the Pan-African Congress, the African Transformation Movement, and UAT all will stick in the corner with the ANC. So if they get those 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 votes added to the 169, 179, 185. They're still 16 votes short. So who is the kingmaker? Should the DA discover that they have testicles, they have a sack, and they sack up, and they do a vote of no confidence, it all comes down to the Inkatha Freedom Party, folks. The Inkatha Freedom Party is the decision maker. Will Cyril Ramaphosa suffer the indignity of being the first president in South Africa's bogus parliamentary system to be unseated while sitting as president? Now, I know Thabo Mbeki left, but he wasn't unseated to vote no confidence. He just left because South Africa wasn't run by parliament. It was run by Luthuli House. That's who decided he'd go. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Ronaldo Goes. Ronaldo Goes, former member of parliament, here accused me of insulting the DA. Teresa Mustard, thank you for the 35 Rand. Yeah, so the DA doesn't have the votes unless they put those 5 parties together that I told you, MK, EFF themselves, ACDP, and the Freedom Front Plus, and they can bring the IFP to the table. Without the IFP, there'll be no dismissal of Cyril Ramaphosa, who should have been relieved for Pala Pala. Pala Pala. Pizza Pizza. Conda Bruno, the ANC is still believing AGOA will not go away. Please whisper in the necessary ears for my application before Rand is 51. I have been telling people for the better part of a year and a half that AGOA is going to disappear. Before Trump even got elected, I said AGOA may not get renewed in 2025. I said that over and over again. But don't test us. The Iron Lady, even tougher than Maggie Thatcher herself. Zilla said, by not acting against corruption accused within the ANC's ranks, Ramaphosa was proving not to be any different from them. But the question that's significant here for the Democratic Alliance is that why did you not raise this issue when these people were appointed to the cabinet last year? Why didn't you take a principal stand then? Why do you only take a principal stand when Andrew Whitfield is dismissed and then you throw him to the wolves? You're not even demanding his reinstatement. Fikile Mabalula is like, oh, we will not reinstate him. Well, no one asked you to. The DA doesn't care about Andrew Whitfield. They pushed him to the dogs. Yep. Anyway, so what are you going to say? Analysts are talking about this. Will there be a vote of no confidence in South Africa's president? I don't know. Will there be a vote of no confidence, folks? Let's take a look. Analysts warn DA-led no confidence vote could topple Ramaphosa. Exactly in the scenario I just gave you. But it's up to the IFP. Toughest decision ever for the Inkatha Freedom Party. And by the way, Fikile Mabalula says that the DA, if they vote for no confidence, they're not in the GNU. That's not your decision, genius. Not your decision. Yep, it's a mutual agreement between two parties. One can leave, the other can leave, both can dissolve it, but you can't kick them out. And voting against your corrupt president is not a vote against the government. Make the distinction, Fikile. Guy looks like Fred Sanford. I'm coming, Elizabeth. Every time I see him, he looks more and more like Fred Sanford, that scruffy stuff on his face, gray, and that red bone color he's got there. He looks like Fred Sanford. Yeah, indeed. ANC Secretary General Fred Sanford, Fikile Mabalula, has dared the DA to pack its bags and leave the Government National Unity. Wow. And I'm the one disrespecting the DA. I'm the one mocking the DA. I think that you need to worry more about Fikile Mabalula than you do about Chris Wyatt. Just saying to the trolls. Well, even if the DA leaves, the Government National Unity will never collapse. It will if the IFP leaves, you genius. Even if the DA leaves, GNU would never collapse, says Fikile Mabalula. Well, I think that he's just smoking his socks a little too often. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the problem with the DA's performance on Saturday is it opens them up to criticism, not by me, not by the Neanderthals and canines or right-wing podcasters and aspiring car guards, but it opens up to criticism by leftists. Cockprod 24's Kanana Hunter makes a valid point in her op-ed about the decision on Saturday. Kanana Hunter, the DA's strange performative outrage in the GNU soap opera. South African politics has never been short of theatrics, but the latest act in a coalition government saga, let's call it Whitfield Gate, has provided a particularly bizarre performance. In what should have been a minor episode involving Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Andrew Whitfield, the Democratic Alliance managed to turn his axing into a faux political crisis that left them announcing their withdrawal from the national dialogue while still clinging to their cabinet positions. Well, there you go. And she goes on. And for once, Kanana Hunter, she's not talking about Palestinians and she's not talking about America, so it's relatively objective. But yeah. Well, see, that's what happens when you perform like you do on Saturday and mislead people. You're open to criticism from the leftists. From your own side of the political aisle, Democratic Alliance, Kanana Hunter. She's a little further left than you are, but you are all leftist. Ultimatums do not run government. Well, the ANC doesn't run government either. It's on autopilot, and autopilot is crashing. It's running out of fuel. The ailerons are not working properly. ANC to liberate the DA's blackmail. Blackmail? It's not blackmail. Get your corrupt. Look, I can see at least two people are corrupt at that table. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mabalula has criticized DA for issuing ultimatums and insists the party stands firmly behind President Ramaphosa. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers I gave you are a presumption that this would be a secret ballot, but the presumption is no ANC MPs would defect. You want to lay odds that if there's a vote of no confidence, at least 10 ANC MPs defect, making it that much easier to unseat Ramaphosa? Ramaphosa is in a very awkward position right now. If the DA knows legitimate, honest, cogent people in the ANC, and they are approaching them, and they win 3, 4, 5 of those members over quietly, discreetly, it's all over. It's all over. Yes, the DA painted a circle around themselves. They box themselves. They're like the people who paint the room, and they work around, and they get in a corner, and then they can't get out. Unbelievable. Foolish. Well, South Africa is pushing for debt relief. Ah, yes, of course. Borrow money and be deadbeats and don't pay it back. And we just gave you more money from the IMF. Well, there you go. So on the heels of the IMF, at the behest of the United States, mind you, which is supposedly attacking South Africa, the IMF just gave South Africa another $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion, yes. And that's only approval with the United States approval. We made that happen. And so you're getting more money, and now you want debt relief. You haven't even received the money yet, and they already want a freebie. Look at this pathetic beg. Oh, Africa is so proud. You colonialists are evil people. Please give us money. Please, sir. More soup. Please, sir. More soup. Yeah, here you go. Yeah. Seriously? You have the audacity to ask for debt relief when you haven't even taken delivery of the money? It's comical. It's comical to say the very least. This is pathetic. And you hear this all the time. Africa's sovereign. Oh, the West looks down on us. No, we look down on deadbeats who can't pay their bills. I pay my bills every month. Every damn month. Every month, without fail. I pay my bills. I pay my debts, my obligations, whoever I owe money to. All the time. Except that money I owe Ronaldo. I think I owe him 10 rand. I haven't paid him back that 10 rand. No, but I pay my bills. And you want debt relief? You haven't even gotten the money. This is comical. South Africa pushes for debt relief and global financial reform at the UN Financing Summit in Spain. Ah, damn. Malema didn't make it. Anyway, yeah, so South Africa seeks to advance through cooperation and collaboration sustainable solutions to tackle high structural deficits and liquidity challenges and to extend debt relief to developing economies, which disproportionately affects countries in Africa, said Vincent Mangwenya, spokesman in the presidency. Well, thank you for that, gobbledygook. Yes. Call us racist, take our money, and then cry about it. I love it. You're racist. Give me money. You're racist. Give me money. No. Give me more money. I call you racist again. Good God. It's time for the bugger off bunny. Anyway, yeah, seriously. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after years of being dumb as a box of rocks and dingbat doorknobs, the economic freedom fighters is finally discovering retail politics. They are. You can't just run around and scream, kill the Boer, and murder people and, and cry about nationalization. It isn't working. 10.7%, 3% isn't working. People don't fall for it anymore. They go on to the MK or back to the ANC. Isn't working. So finally, after failing to deliver a school they promised to build in 2018, 2019, after now making an announcement they're going to build homes for 10 dead people who died in a bus crash, now the EFF apparently is actually doing something for people. Yeah, they're doing something for people, folks. They're doing something for South Africans. Can you believe it? Of course, it's all political grandstanding. The EFF redirects rally funds to the Mthatha flood victims and slams Oscar Mabuyani's absence. Well, he's on holiday. I'm sorry, folks. Oscar Mabuyani is an exalted member of the African National Congress and Premier of the Eastern Cape. How dare you criticize him? You racist EFF. How dare you challenge Oscar Mabuyani's vacation just because people are dead in an epic flood? You don't expect it. What, is he going to go dig the bodies up himself? Leave him alone, you racist EFF members. Quit attacking black people. I mean, just because you're black. Damn it, they're black too. I guess they're not racist. We know that nobody who's black can be racist, right? Yes, but the EFF is attacking Oscar Mabuyani, who deserves to be attacked. Party leader Julius Malema and senior members Marshall Dlamini and Sanowo Tambo visited flood-affected communities accompanied by Abatembu King Buyilekaya Dalinyebo. They assessed damage caused by heavy rain that displaced hundreds of people. Malema criticized the ANC for holding a regional conference at OR Tambo the weekend the flood victims remain in dire need. Conference for when people are having a problem? Postpone the conference and go attend the problems of the people. That's when you know you love the people. The problem with that is that that's just grandstanding. Of course, the ANC has local governance and provincial governance, and they're responsible. You want to complain about Oscar Mabuyani not being there, that makes sense. But the ANC having a conference elsewhere, it's not like they were having a braai. Oh, today at OR Tambo, the ANC was having a masterful, big braai, and we're upset. No, they weren't having a braai. Come on. Look, I'm not defending the ANC, but that's just stupid. But the EFS is putting their money where their mouth is. They're diverting their rally funds to help flood victims. We call on Oscar to come back. He accepted that responsibility to be premier. The ANC needs to call him to order. He must cut his holiday and come to be on the ground with the people. 100%. Wait. Does that make me a racist too? Because I agree with the EFF when they're attacking a black man? I don't know. I get so confused. Legitimate criticism, you're a racist. Andrew Whitfield has returned to Nelson Mandela Bay, scenes of his great success in the past. Yes. Andrew Whitfield returns to Nelson Mandela Bay to coordinate an outright win in the 2026 elections. Well, good luck to Andrew Whitfield, but if you think you're going to win in 2026, you're delusional. Axe Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Andrew Whitfield says he's returning to Nelson Mandela Bay to coordinate the Democratic Alliance's campaign for local government elections in 2026. This is an exclusive interview by Estelle Ellis in the Daily Maverick. It's quite fascinating. I recommend you go read it, folks. I'm not going to go into any more than that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very confused by the Action SA. I'm so confused. I remember the news reports months ago when the Action SA mayor went to Hammanskraal and said that they have clean water. Unlike the DA under Cilliers Brink, we've given you clean water. Oh, yes, we've given you clean water. After all these years not having clean water. But now, the Times Live reports that residents of Hammanskraal will only get clean water by the end of July. Huh? According to Shwane Mayor Moya. I'm very confused, Innocentia. Please explain. Shwane Mayor Nasipi Moya has announced that more areas of Hammanskraal will receive clean water in the next few weeks. She made this promise during a community meeting with residents. Okay, wait. So why did they go there and make a big deal about restoring clean water to the residents of Hammanskraal? Months ago, back in January. And Herman Mishaba told us, Action SA gets things done. Michael Bowman, Action SA. Unlike Sillier Spring, the evil DA. Oh, am I attacking the DA again? I'm so sorry. Am I attacking the DA? Does that hurt anybody's bum? Are your hemorrhoids acting up because I said that? I like Sillier Spring. I've interviewed him. Love the gentleman. Not attacking him. Clean the wax out of your ears. Wow. But Action SA is confusing me. I thought that everyone in Hammanskraal had clean water in January. No. Maybe 5 people, maybe 10 people, maybe 20. Who knows? I've been to Hammanskraal. Shwane residents facing extended power outages due to the Waltlu-Nyala transmission line. Well, looky there. Eskom fails you again. The city of Shwane has announced an unexpected delay in the energization of the new 300 megawatt Waltlu-Nyala transmission line, which could potentially lead to additional planned power interruptions. So they put a new power line up and they can't give you electricity. The development affected the power supply zones. Wow. As a result of these setbacks, we may need to implement another planned power interruption. Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, Donald Trump's dim the lights comment has a very different context, doesn't it? Natalie, could you dim the lights? Dim the lights? Thank you for listening to Radio Free Pennsylvania on the Wyatt Army Network. Yes, once again tonight we go to South Africa, the most romantic country in the world, where everyone dines by candlelight each and every night, courtesy of the national power provider, we should say national no power provider, the powerless Eskom, led by Kojisenso Ramakopa, who's at the Copacabana tonight. Yes, Natalie, could you bring the lights back up? There we go. Right, no more power. Funny that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Post has reported that 1,000 Afrikaners will be booking their trip to the United States as refugees. 1,000? Say it ain't so, man. 1,000. Is that true? Actually, no, it's a lie. 1,000 South Africans may be coming, but not 1,000 Afrikaners. That's simply factually untrue. Yet another lie. And the following is a lie from the Washington Post. Refugees that the federal judge had ordered Trump administration to admit are being barred from entry under the president's travel ban, even as Afrikaners allowed in. Survey says, nope, factually wrong. I'm sorry, Sylvia Foster Frau. Nice. Thank you for playing. Please come back when you can actually address the facts here. Yes, that's correct. She's got it wrong once again. Thus far, only one group has been allowed into the United States under Trump, Afrikaners, the descendants of Dutch settlers. They're not descendants of Dutch settlers. They're descendants an amalgamation of Dutch, German, French Huguenot, Khoisan, and Asian from Malaysia, Indonesia, from the Malay Peninsula. That's who they are. And that's not who's coming. That's a lot of people are coming, but there's also non-Afrikaners coming. Once again, wrong. Fake news. Rossi Erasmus reveals a new plan. For the next 2 Springbok teams. He confirms that Peter Steph du Toit is returning. Springbok coach Rossi Erasmus will use the next 3 test matches, 2 against Italy, 1 against Georgia, to ensure that by the time the Rugby Championship kicks off, he has 40 to 50 players that are match fit. Well, there you go. Cool beans. They open the Rugby Championship title defense against Australia at Ellis Park on the 16th of August. First test against Italy, meanwhile, will be at Loftus Versfeld this coming Saturday. There you go. Well, that's cool. That's so cool. How cool is that, folks? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is a story that's just kind of disappeared. But remember the corruption charges against President Ian Khama and Patrice Motsepe's relative? Yeah. Botswana court clears Bridget Motsepe Aradabe of corruption claims. Yeah. Botswana's High Court ruled corruption claims against her were false and defamatory. Ex-investigator Yako Hubona was ordered to retract and apologize for linking her to money laundering. She was cleared in the 2020 UK-led probe into the allegations. In 2019, she was caught up in claims that she conspired with Botswana's former president to launder billions of dollars to be used to stoke political unrest and overthrow the stable Southern African country's government. Of course, that was all bogus nonsense against Ian Khama, and that's because of Masisi, who ought to be in prison for his actions, but that's a whole other story. The IMF is giving more money away. Those evil white people gave more money away to Africans, folks. The IMF disperses nearly $8 billion to Tanzania under 2 arrangements. Yes. The International Monetary Fund has approved an immediate disbursement of approximately $448 million to Tanzania. Wow. We're sending money to the misogynist in Tanzania. Wow. Look at that. No injuries or pollution after an explosion in an oil tanker off the coast of Libya. An oil tanker carrying 1 million barrels of crude suffered an explosion off Libya on June 27th, but no injuries or pollution were reported. The Marshall Islands flag tanker Villamura left Libya's Zutena port and was en route to Gibraltar when there was an explosion in the engine room. The vessel was towed to Greece and expected to arrive there on July 2nd. Albanese, the Australian Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, is steering clear of a call for kids to be banned from YouTube. Of course, the Australian fascist regime is blocking children from using social media because they're malcontents and don't know how to parent properly, so they think the government can parent for them. But Anthony Albanese is backing away from putting the same restrictions on YouTube. YouTube. A week after Australia's e-safety commissioner, you have an e-safety commissioner? Wow, that's pathetic. Call for YouTube to be added to the federal government's under-16 social media ban. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was lukewarm to the idea. That's why we set up a 12-month period. Continue to work on a bipartisan basis. I note there's widespread support for this, and increasingly, I think, amongst the public, there's greater consciousness of the damage that social media can do to the mental health of young people. Yeah, I think there's greater damage that politics can do to the health of all Australians. But anyway, that's just me. Well, quietly, Russia has amassed 50,000 more troops around Sumy, putting Ukraine under a very difficult situation and a precarious position. That's an M113. More U.S. military hardware donated to the Ukrainians for Zelensky's war. Russian forces are just 12 miles from the northern Ukrainian regional capital, a new target for Moscow as the Kremlin presses its manpower advantage at a growing number of places along the front. Having almost entirely ejected Ukrainian forces from the Russian Kursk region earlier this year, Russian forces now poured over the border in the opposite direction towards Sumy. With 50,000 troops in the area, they outnumber the Ukrainians 3-1. Well, that's the numbers you need normally for an offensive, 3-1. So the Russians are quietly amassing, and Ukraine may find themselves collapsing before it's all over. Extreme heat is gripping southern Europe. Portugal, temperatures surpassing 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! That's like Saudi Arabia hot. The Rub al Khalil, empty quarter hot. Portugal expects to see highs of 109 degrees. Parts of Spain, France, Italy, and Greece are also bracing for extreme heat. Across Portugal, Spain, and France, some areas could exceed 100 degrees. That's 38 degrees Celsius. Germany will have highs of 35 degrees Celsius. In Portugal, the cities of Beja and Évora are expected to reach 109, 43 degrees Celsius. Ouch, that's hot. Miss Soul on fire singing hot, hot, hot. Man, the stuff in gray is everything up to 100 degrees, 90 to 100 degrees. That is warm. The only place to be is Northern Europe, folks. Finland, Norway, Sweden. That's the place to be. That's where it's comfortable. That is a bit warm. Not my cup of tea. I'll pass. With the United Kingdom, the UK Prime Minister just has harsh words for racists and anti-Semites who call for death, while 18-year-old British citizens are put in prison for a year for carrying the Union Jack, the flag of the United Kingdom. Seriously? And social media, people are arrested and hunted down in Germany and the United Kingdom for things they say in social media, not threatening anyone's life, but just saying something that hurts someone's feelings because they're called Islamophobes. Look at this nonsense. Keir Starmer is just offended. This guy should be arrested under their stupid laws. UK Prime Minister blasts rappers' death to the IDF chant at the Glastonbury Festival. US authorities could be looking into canceling the visa of banned Bob Vylan ahead of their nationwide tour. Well, don't let them in the country. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer said he was appalled by the onstage chanting against the Israeli military by punk rap duo Bob Vylan during their performance at Glastonbury. During the show on the 29th of June, singer Bobby Vylan chanted death to the IDF in a reference to the Israeli Defense Forces while he was on stage in front of 200,000 fools in Somerset, England. There's no excuse for this kind of appalling hate speech, he said. We're urgently reminding everyone involved in the production of the festival there's no place in Glastonbury for anti-Semitism. So why aren't they arrested? Why isn't he arrested? Is it because he's black? Is that why he wasn't arrested, Keir Starmer? I mean, it's free speech. I don't think he should be arrested, but he shouldn't be arresting 18-year-old kids for carrying a British flag on the street. But why aren't they arrested? Double standard against Brits, indigenous Brits. Yep. Unbelievable. Well, Canada has blinked. Sanctions don't work. Well, sanctions work. Tariffs don't work. Tariffs do work, ladies and gentlemen. Trump ended trade negotiations with the recalcitrant Canadians who think they can milk Americans and screw us and censor our content. Not anymore. Yes, Canada will scrap a tax that prompted Trump to suspend trade talk. The government said on Sunday night that it would cancel its tax on American technology companies, handing a victory to the Trump administration. Canada's government announced Sunday night it would cancel a tax on American technology companies that led President Trump to suspend trade talks between the two countries. Prime Minister Mark Carney discussed the decision to scrap Canada's digital services tax. The tax, which had been set to take effect today, became a flashpoint in the difficult negotiations between Canada and the U.S. For 48 hours, the Canadian government folded. Within 48 hours, announced it would not go ahead with the tax. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Oh my goodness. Who's your daddy, Canada? Well, a gunman set a blaze and then targeted firefighters when they responded, killing 2 of them, wounding another. 2 firefighters were killed, 1 wounded in a prolonged attack near Coeur d'Alene. The gunman's body was later recovered. A gunman intentionally started a blaze and then ambushed responding firefighters, killing 2 in a prolonged attack over several hours. Kootenai County Sheriff Robert Norris said at a news conference Sunday night the body of the suspected attacker had later been found near the scene of the assault with a firearm nearby. Wow. What a horrific situation. Coeur d'Alene. And just the day before, everybody would want to go to Idaho. Trump says, I will not be offering anything to Iran. No plans for talks. The president said in a social media post that he is not talking to Iran after B-2 bombers totally obliterated their nuclear facilities. The U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday that he is not offering Iran anything and is not planning to engage in any talks with the regime. In a post on Truth Social, he said, I am not offering anything to Iran, unlike Obama, who paid them billions under the stupid road to nuclear. Well, there was some profanity there, so telling Senator Coons from Delaware. ICE is arresting migrants. No, they're not. They're arresting criminal alien invaders. Washington Post. Learn to use the term properly. And if you want to use the U.S. government term, it's illegal aliens. Yep, in work sites. But employers are largely escaping charges. Trump has focused workplace raids on small businesses as part of his administration's push to ramp up arrest of unauthorized migrants. No, criminal alien invaders. Yep. Homeland Security enforcement operations have overwhelmingly focused on arresting workers rather than punishing employers. Well, I call for punishing the employers and punish the people who have let us down. They're criminals as well. Hiring illegal aliens, make them pay. Make them pay. Make them pay. Trump says that the big, beautiful bill is moving along nicely as voting continues today. Senate began another round of voting on amendments that could make significant changes to the signature budget and spending bill as it races past legislation before the July 4th deadline. An artificial deadline, by the way. Senator Tom Tillis won't run for re-election in 2026. He's got a tough fight to keep his seat. He was elected to the Senate in 2014. He voted against debate on the big, beautiful bill. I don't think we'll miss Tom Tillis. Yeah, I know. Time for him to go. And Harvard violated students' civil rights. This is what the Justice Department has determined. Washington threatens university with the loss of all federal financial resources. Good. Take them all away. Take them all away. The Trump administration informed Harvard University that its investigation found that it violated federal civil rights law over its treatment of Jewish and Israeli students, putting the federal funding of the nation's oldest university further at risk. The investigation is the latest in the battle between the White House and Harvard. The Trump administration has sought to make the wealthiest U.S. university Exhibit A in its fight against liberal institutions. It says don't take anti-Semitism and DEI concerns seriously. There you go. Failure to institute adequate change immediately will result in the loss of all federal financial resources, continue to affect Harvard's relationship with the federal government. Harvard may, of course, continue to operate free of federal privileges, and perhaps such an opportunity will spur a commitment to excellence that will help Harvard thrive once again. Ouch, shots fired. Anti-Semitic, Jew-hating, white, Christian-hating Harvard University, which limits white students to less than 1/5 of the student population, despite the fact that they're 75% of the country. And that's the news for today, folks. All right, let me go back and read some of the chat here a little ways. Speak foreign to me by candlelight, says Francois. Seems that water is becoming a frequent issue as well. Still, it's related to ESCOM not having enough power to run a pump. So it's more than that. James says, for some reason there is shadow banning again. Did not get enough. Oh, it's always going on, James. It never stops. Never stops. This channel could probably have, hundreds of thousands more subscribers if YouTube just quit hiding it. Yeah, we got lucky and we broke through. We got the plaque. We're there, 100,000. But, going beyond that's been a challenge. DA must now support secession actions. Okay, well, they won't do that. Trust me. No, the 1,000 is by 30 September. Okay, someone just mentioned that. So, what was this at? A comment. Jean Coates says only 1,000. Yeah, no, it's 1,000 by 30 September, which is an average 11 or 12 South Africans coming to America every single day, 7 days a week. Bronkhorst Pruitt Home Affairs, they don't have security guard. Okay. The ANC will let President Trump wait till number 99 just to show they can. Yeah, I wish they could stop this Afrikaner refugee crap too and acknowledge the colored couple on the first load. Even the Khoi, it was more than one colored couple on there. Even the Khoi San are eligible. Correct. They are. They are eligible. That's correct. The Khoi and San are eligible if they want to come. 11th grandmother sold by her own under Portuguese rule in 1957. She arrived in 1958, fell in love with Willem van der Merwe. Letters to VOC of how Willem misplaced kitchen keys. Huh? Well, the Netherlands is lost too. I wouldn't want to go to the Netherlands. It's overpopulated. It's lost. Not easy to immigrate to Europe. Assume they have Dutch passports. No, it's not easy to immigrate to Europe. Great start to the week. Water pipe burst. Geyser element went. Transformer fault. No power. And tried to steal my gate motor. Alan, yeah, and a lot of that's probably a consequence of fluctuating power over the years, which ruined the lifespan of your electronics. Yeah, why can't parents just control access on their own? Exactly right. Why are you giving your kids phones? I miss pagers. South Africa's criminal intelligence chief has been arrested. That's a couple days old, Rhino Girl. We covered that. Garrett says, well spotted. What was that well spotted? Did you see the U-20 beat? Yeah, I didn't see that. If what the Washington Post says is true, only 1% of us are going over, maybe less than 1%, depending. Okay, Saving Private Ryan, you've got to actually watch my videos, okay? You've got to watch my videos. I covered this in my video, which, let's see how many people watched it. Not a lot of people watched it. So I did that last night, and it has a whopping total of 18,000 subscriber views. That's it, 18,000. That video should have 1.8 million views. Last night, I exposed the Washington Post article for what it was. Lies. Okay? The 1,000 is classified information that was leaked by somebody in the State Department. I believe that may be true. But the 1,000 is a goal set by the administration to achieve by the end of the fiscal year, which is 30 September, because they don't have a budget for the next year. So they're trying to get to the end of the fiscal year and get as many people as they can over here, and they've figured they can get 1,000. That means in the next 90 days, July, August, September, an average of 333 people on average will come over here per month. 333 people divided by 30 days is about 11, 12 people per day. That's what the 1,000 is. That doesn't mean it stops on 1 October. It might, because there's no money until we have a budget, unless this big, beautiful bill is approved on July 4th. But the point here is that the 1,000 may be true, but you have to use discernment when you follow this stuff. They're only giving you part of the story, Saving Private Ryan. That is a tad warm. Scary how little we care about Ukraine. I never cared about it, Dirk. It's all been a scam all along. Karen Rabba. Well, yeah, that's in the crew, but it's not supposed to be that way in Europe. Sounds nice. I don't think we're 43 degrees doesn't sound nice. Katie says, thank you for highlighting the nonsense in UK. Well, exactly, Katie. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So they're going to arrest an 18-year-old kid for standing in a corner. That's literally what he was doing, holding a Union Jack, because it made the Muslims feel uncomfortable. Really. These are the same Muslims that stop in front of Church of England churches on their grounds and start doing prayer instead of going to mosque. And they're the ones insulted? I don't think so. Very frustrated in Australia that Albany's labor. Yeah, I know, they're terrible. They're terrible low IQ. Terrible. Villain as in villain. Yeah, exactly, Ronaldo, as in villain. Landau did announce his visa is canceled. Who is Landau? Who is Landau, Napoleon? Yeah. 42 degrees with 91% humidity in Asia would mean your death. Luckily, Cayenne Peru is dry heat. Yeah, exactly. ADL condemns that chant, but yet it's okay to sing death chants. Exactly. The Anti-Defamation League doesn't say anything about that. Yeah, yep. You love watching the Idaho video. Okay, all right. Don't misunderstand. If this is true, me and my family might as well look for a funeral plan. Things are not going well. Saving Private Ryan, you need to sit down, take a deep breath, and stop sucking up the fake news. I've just given you the analysis. I know I'm a couple minutes behind here, about 10 minutes behind the chat, but you're letting your head explode because you're not paying attention. Watch my videos. I don't know what more I can do. I mean, I devote so much of my time to reassure people about nonsense that's not real. I mean, I've done this several times this week. And people, watch the videos. I know you may get shadow banned, you may not get the notifications, but you know where the channel is. You know it's at Colonel Chris Wyatt. Go there, look under my videos. That's the easiest way to see all my videos published. Just go there and do it. I mean, look, it's not like this is my job. I'm trying to keep you informed, but you're all panicking and getting your heads blown up for nothing, okay? You're making presumptions. 1,000 by September is a huge number. At that rate, with a year that didn't budget for Afrikaners coming over, with a year in which the money was all pulled away and they're scrambling and getting money from other pockets, they're still going to get over 1,000 people over if they achieve that by the end of September. At that rate, 300 per month, that's about 4,000 per year. But that's without any money. We have a budget coming. Man, take a deep breath. 51, that's terrible. I've actually been in temperature almost that high. Did you read the book I sent you when you're down? Oh, you talked Renault. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Karen. I just debunked it last night. Okay. The last post we got from Washington Post said they would be ramping up the program, and now they said 1,000 people. So it seems the idea of ramp. Oh my gosh. Okay. I really can't help you. I mean, I know I'm 7 minutes behind, but let's see if you've changed your tune since then. At some point, I'm just going to have to assume that you're just trolling. Exactly. I did the math. Thank you, Freya. Thank you. I did the math yesterday. All right. Look, Saving Private Ryan. Now I'm getting closer, and you're still saying the same stuff. At some point, you're just trolling. Stop it. Okay? If you can't be bothered to watch the video, if you can't be bothered to read the article and understand what it said, then I can't help you. But stop trolling in my chat and distracting people. This isn't a refugee chat. It's not a whine about the refugee program. If you're not happy with it, then withdraw your statement of interest and stay in South Africa. It's as simple as that, man. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. Complaining about it in my chat and pissing people off is not going to help. No, but your conversation is distracting. It's what everybody's talking about in the chat, and you're not listening. You're not listening, Saving Private Ryan. I've told you. It's 1,000 by the end of September. There's no budget for this. I mean, I don't know how much simpler I can make that for people. I've explained this. There's no money. This was unexpected. They're scrambling and pulling money from places and places in other parts of the State Department to get you over here. And the gratitude we get is, well, I'll never get out of here now. People are literally working 7 days a week to get people out of South Africa. Anyway, all right, I can't help you, man. Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you. When I hear Landau, I think of Martin Landau. So thank you, Napoleon Dynamite. Thank you very much. What is the Big Beautiful Bill? The Big Beautiful Bill is President Trump's budget submission for this year, which includes renewing the tax breaks that were given to us last time, which if he doesn't will lead to over 60% increase in personal income taxes. It's going to be a disaster. And then some new tax breaks plus some budget cuts across the board, but still deficit spending. That is the Big Beautiful Bill. It also includes temporary measures like no taxes on tips. So if you work in a restaurant or somewhere where someone gives you a tip, you don't pay tax on it. No taxes on overtime, which will spur productivity big time. People work harder and longer if they get paid and don't have to pay taxes on that labor. They'll definitely work overtime. So that's brilliant. But those are temporary. That's just throughout the Trump's administration. After that, they're rescinded. So what roof do they have? It's only 1,000. If they give the real numbers, we'll lose our minds. It's not a roof, guys. It's not a roof. Also, we don't know. It's the Washington Post making a claim because they got information from someone who broke the law. So how much are we going to trust lawbreakers? Here in UK, I'm thinking probably know some of my friends in Pinetown. Gonna have to shave my legs and go work the Waffle House. Is it true that Medicaid will get cut under the Big Beautiful Bill? Not accurate, James. It is, and I've got it over here. Let me find Medicaid. Okay. So Medicaid funding boost for Alaska and Hawaii. They're actually getting more money. Yep. So they're giving more money to Medicaid. They're defunding Planned Parenthood, but just $100 million. What else they got here? Limiting immigrant Medicaid coverage, eligibility to 5-year waiting period for green card holders and certain other immigrants. Current law excludes all who are lawfully present. So that's going to change. So there are changes in Medicaid. Eliminate duplicate Medicaid enrollment. That's $17 billion. Medicaid managed care taxes. Prevent states from using taxes on managed care plans to increase the federal budget. Okay. Medicaid eligibility. Allow states to require more paperwork and more frequent eligibility checks for people on Medicaid to cut down on fraud. Medicare premiums. Okay. Provider taxes. So yes, there are things there, but it is complicated. It's not as simple. So, yeah, and work requirements for people, adults and parents of children older than 14 required to work, volunteer, or attend school for 80 hours a month as a condition of enrollment. Otherwise, they don't qualify. They say that's going to save $317 billion. So yes, there are effects to Medicaid, but they're not cutting Medicaid. See, that's just a lie. There are things that are being cut from Medicaid. That's correct. A lot of it is fraud, waste, and abuse. So yeah, but no tax on overtime is going to cost the government $90 billion of money they take from people on overtime. Tax on tips, $32 billion. No tax on a car loan interest. If you get a car loan, you can deduct up to $10,000 in loan interest in new vehicles. Yeah, so there you go. If they were built in America, so that could cost $31 billion. Well, now it's time for me to buy a new truck. And Trump accounts. Trump has created something for tax advantage savings accounts for children. So if you got a child that's born between 2024 and 2028, you can put $1,000 in per year, and I guess it's not taxed. That's kind of a gimmick if you ask me. Foreign tax credit changes to compensate for taxes paid to both U.S. and foreign country on a foreign source income. I'm not really sure that affects. I already deduct the taxes I pay from Switzerland and from Germany and Japan for my foreign holdings, so I don't know how that affects anything. That's a strange one. But yeah, Medicaid is affected, but it's not canceled. That's a lie. Get rid of the Toyota. Get rid of my Toyota 4Runner with a V8, which I can't replace unless I spend $80,000 on a truck that has a V8. No. My V8's staying. It's staying. You're welcome, Saving Private Ryan. All right, so let's just be clear, and let's not beat up on Saving Private Ryan. Okay, let me address this very quickly here. This is the problem with fake journalism. This is the problem with legacy media misleading people. Okay? First off, that article is bullshit. It's just bullshit. It is bullshit, and I got to address that because it really torques me off what they're pulling there. It's just utter nonsense what they've tried. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Where's it at here? I know I got this here somewhere. Where's it at? That's the one I want. Okay. There you go. So this is what I have to say about that Washington Post article. Okay.
Name's Bugger Off Bunny, and that's bullshit.
Yeah. So the Bugger Off Bunny says that's BS. No. So that Washington Post article, the problem with that, guys, is the following, okay? First off, it's not Afrikaners. It's South Africans, racial minorities. So that's the first thing. So it's intentionally misleading to create racial animosity towards white South Africans, Afrikaners in particular. Second thing is it says 1,000 people are coming over. Yes, by the end of September, this fiscal year. It doesn't bother to tell you that they didn't have the money to bring people over, and they've been scrambling to try to find money from other sources. And legally, you can only move certain money around. So we don't know what the pace is going to be after 30 September. This is an indication that between now and the end of September, an additional 1,000 people could be coming over here. That's good news. That's a lot faster than it has been. Right now, we've got maybe 100 that have come over. We don't know the true number. So, guys, stop buying the bullshit from the media. Can South Africans sponsor themselves rather than use USA budget? I don't know what you mean by sponsor yourself. What is sponsor? You mean pay your own way to come over here? Yes, you can pay for your own flight. You're welcome, Luke. Well, thank you, Vernon. I don't really know what you're getting at there. A couple Disney cruise ships could bring thousands over in a week. Here, you're not skipping the queue. That's correct. Doesn't change anything. Exactly. What if it takes years? What's your point here? What if it takes years? See, this is the ingratitude I don't get. And this isn't a refugee thing, but now you guys are going off the refugee thing. What if it takes 5 years for you to get out? So what? Who else is letting you leave? Who else is offering you a place to go? Who else is letting you come in and stay? Who? Russia? China? Australia? UK? Nope. Instead of bitching about how long it's taking and how many people are coming over, just suck it up, Buttercup. Suck it up. Power cuts and water disruptions. It's incompetence. Piss poor planning. No strategic vision for down the road. The phase 2 and phase 3 of the Highlands Water Project should have been completed 10, 15 years ago. They were never undertaken by a corrupt ANC. They just allowed the project that the National Party started, then they took credit for because the last year of the thing coming into effect, they were there. I've been there. I've been where the water comes out of the sluices coming out of the Drakensberg, right there in the Free State. Been there, right north of Clarence. I've seen it. So anyway. So it takes up to... Well, that's not true. We don't take 350,000, Marla. We've taken 160, 200,000 for it, but usually it's 40 to 150,000. After the U.S. have a new bill and get rid of the illegals, the program will speed up. Yeah, here's the other thing, too. I mean, what exactly do people expect in South Africa? Will you expect us to change our entire process and suddenly bring 4 million people over here at once? I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. We've taken 40 to 150,000 people per year. I've done the math. I've told you this, guys, over and over again. That's from the entire world. The Titanic. Well, if there's an iceberg between Cape Town and Miami, we got a problem. So many South Africans sucking up to Russian Putin. They think they can get something? Come visit Alligator Alcatraz. Tom Mbeki, his own words, said India would have helped to rebuild power stations, but BEE put them off, so they left. Well, if there was no BEE and it wasn't state-owned, you would get the likes of Bechtel from San Francisco that would want to build power plants there. GE would want to build power plants there. Toyota 4Runner with the V8, my dream truck. My Toyota Hilux has cruised all the deserts, Southern Africa. Richtersveld. Magadakati, Kalahari. Well, Richard, my Toyota 4Runner has cruised the deserts of Southern Africa too, from Namibia to Botswana to South Africa. Yep. I think the fair is the program will close for that before you get a chance to go over, but if it's meant for you to go, exactly, Arnold. So I'm trying to make clear until you get a ticket in your hand, do not give up your life. Well, that's the point I've been making all along, Vernon. People need to, and people got, so the trolls stole my content and made, the colonel's angry, the colonel's mad at people. No, I just said, fill out your statement of interest. Make your plans, continue your life. Your kids still have to go to school. You still have to try to survive. You have to put food on the table. You have to pay your bills. You have to get petrol. You have to take care of yourself. Sitting around and, where do I get to go, is not going to change your life. That lady whom wrote me that really bizarre thing and attacked me in WhatsApp over something, complaining about something she didn't understand, and I took the time to talk to her, has now sent me another message, and she's like pissed off and says, well, you and the president can have a good time. All you care about is rich people. She told me that before. I mean, seriously, all I care about are rich people. All I care about are rich people. Is that honestly, anybody honestly believe that nonsense? All I care about are rich people. You know, the bullshit that I took, how come you don't go to informal communities? I went to one, and all the crap storm that created, I went to one. And then all the shit that was talked about me after I left. Do you think I don't know about that? What's he doing here? What's this all about? What's he up to? Unbelievable. Attacking me because you have a shitty life. I didn't give you a shitty life. I wasn't your spouse that beat you. I'm not the one that treated you so poorly, denied you work. I'm not the one that calls you names in the streets. That's someone else. And you have the audacity to blame me and attack me? Please. Take it on the arches, man. I swear. It's unbelievable. Well, I don't know what she said. She's not my TikTok lady. She works in Sunnyside. Anyway. What did she say, Alan? What did she say? If that's how she gets famous and that's how she gets her jollies, good. It's a lot better than working the streets, I'll tell you that. You work hard in the streets, with squeegees out there cleaning windscreens. It's tough life. And I wouldn't want her to have to work on the streets, cleaning windscreens off. That's a tough life. Or begging for money. What about the weather, Milk and Honey? Hold on, Africa. What's this? Sean Blum. Hey, Colonel, did you see the news about the Mercedes factory in East London suspending production? I heard the rumor, but I haven't seen a story on it yet. Thank you, Sean, for the 70 Rand. I'll have to look into it. I've heard... Today's the last day. Last chance to get Super Chats. Wow, I forgot about that. Charlize no Kanyeni man. Oof, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, Hannes. I know who you're talking about. Suddenly trying to change the... I know you're trying to change the topic. Milk and Honey. Spain can't pay NATO, but RSA is asking them for debt relief. Yeah, exactly. Entitled people complain. Just shut up and be grateful. There's a program. Yep. That's the end of East London. Oh, no doubt about it. And East London will collapse without that. Goodyear decided to close. Yeah, and then we saw that Guinness wasn't putting more money in. Saw a nice sign, 10 kilometers back. Okay. Colonel, most of us aren't battle-hardened vets. We're just soft targets with Wi-Fi, terrified of a country that feels like it's actually trying to kill us every day. Well, relaxing positive energy, that's why I have empathy for people. But people shouldn't attack me because they're soft, Shooting the messenger, the person that actually gives you the truth, is counterproductive. All that does is convince me that I'm wasting my time. Someone told me that Ireland is opening their door, but I haven't seen any information on that. So, yeah, Islam was done years ago. Yeah. Tata on the sea for many years now. Thank you for that, Kevin Hansen. Don't worry about the sunny side. I don't. Oh, my goodness. You guys are killing me, man. You're killing me. So, did you guys like the Springbok song? Did you like the Springbok song? Gaiga Utenhagen. Yeah, that's next. Volkswagen will go next. Yeah, probably. Probably Volkswagen's next on the list. Keen to meet in Tilsit. I've never been to Tilsit, Garrett. That's interesting. And there's another super chat. Like this live, everybody. That's good. Rika Sohund says, thank you for all the information, your support. Hope to meet you in person. Well, you will. This side or that side. Yeah, Buck song was pretty good. Yeah, Charles, I like it too. It's called what's this? They wanted department release for their own pockets. Okay. Great news. Is the Ronaldo Meister on today? I don't know if he's on today. We're not quite done here yet. You've brought so much insight into our lives. So amazing. Half the people are in such a stuck path that they themselves have given up. Well, I can't help those folks, Chris. I bend over backwards. I mean, look, this is my life. It has a certain prescribed time span. I'm not going to live 3,000 years, sadly. So I only have so much of my life. And I get thousands of emails and thousands of WhatsApp from people. And I respond to people in a polite fashion who are rude to me. And then I see that they're suffering. I help them. I do WhatsApp calls with them. I do telephone calls with them and try to talk them down and get them calm and tell them what's going on. And for them to say, okay, thank you. And then only for them to turn on me a few weeks later because they didn't get their way. It's really heartbreaking. It's truly heartbreaking. It really is. Okay. Volkswagen thinks safer now. They built cars without export to other right-hand drive countries. Well, that's true, but if they can't get parts, SDP, then the jig will be up. Heard Nissan Russell in Pretoria also closed down. I didn't even know Nissan was even in Russell, and I know that BMW's there, but I didn't know that Nissan was there. I thought they were gone a long time ago. It's now all of a sudden white people's fault that there's no more funding for the ANC. Now we have a clear bullseye on our backs. So excuse some people for getting scared and asking stupid questions. I don't see what that has to do with anything, Clarence. The white people funding the ANC? Well, they still are. Johan Rupert's still funding them. Jam, thank you for the 70 Rand. Thank you very much. Oh, it's James. James Warren. It says Jam over here. Thank you, James Warren. Yeah, no, I don't see what that has to do with anything. Price of tea, Clarence. The ANC is still funded by white people. And white monopoly capital. Thank you, Gary Buchner, for your 140 Rand. Thanks again for highlighting the struggle of all ordinary South Africans. Thank you, of all races. And I do that. People, how quickly they forget. I tried for 3 years to meet with Oma Katrina Esau, the last known speaker of San language. No, And I finally was able to make contact with her and went to visit her in Uppington. And that was a big part of my trip up there. I also went up to see the Sightliners, but it was also to see her. I got up there and saw her, and it was epic. It was epic. But people forget about that. Promoting San culture, promoting Basutu culture, promoting Tswana culture, promoting coloreds in South Africa, being fair to all South Africans who deserve fairness. But, people forget that because it doesn't fit their narrative. Thank you for making my days brighter, says Phoenix. Well, Phoenix, how could your day be any less bright? A phoenix. Thank you for that. You work so hard, but what you do for fun or relax outside? Well, I go to sports. I go to rugby. I used to run. That isn't for fun. I did it for fitness, but with the hip, I can't run. I can't even walk properly right now. Still have to wait till July 17th for my medical appointment for my GP, and then a referral to a frickin', an orthopedic specialist from there. So I probably won't get treatment till the end of the year. But anyway, what do I do for fun? I love, I used to love gaming. I love reading. I love traveling. Traveling is my first love. I love traveling. For me, it's military mission. All the planning, visas, funds, travel, lodging, events, boom, 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 boom. And like the Rugby World Cup, when I go to the Rugby World Cup, it's not just to go to the Rugby World Cup. It's to watch the rugby and also take in as much culture of the country as I can. So I've been to the 2011 World Cup in New Zealand. I was at the 2014 World Cup in Paris for the women and went to Marcoussis and also to Stade Jean-Bouin. I was there for the final. I had to leave at the end and make it to the airport. I just made it in time. The game between England and Canada. I think that's who it was, yeah. Anyway, so 2011 New Zealand, 2014 in Paris for the women, 2015 in England, 2017 in Ireland for the women, 2018 in San Francisco for the Sevens World Cup, 2019 in Japan for the Men's World Cup. 2021, I was supposed to go to 2 World Cups, the Rugby League World Cup in England and the Women's World Cup in New Zealand, but both were cowards because of COVID, and so they're delayed to 2022, which created a conundrum for me. There was no decision by the corrupt New Zealand government about who could come to the World Cup until 3 weeks before the event, so I couldn't wait that long. So I had tickets for the 2022 Rugby World Cup for the Sevens in Cape Town, and I went to that. And I had tickets for the Rugby League, and I went to that, which cost me not too much, but more than the women. So I ate the cost of women. So that's the World Cups I've been to. That's 8 of them. 8 of them. Yep. 8 Rugby World Cups. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Also covered a lot of rugby as a journalist at Loftus Versfeld. Also all over Major League Rugby here in the States. Yep. So, how is it to travel on the dollar? I went to Botswana for work once. Travel on the dollar? I mean, I get paid in dollars. So, I mean, it's it depends. Right now, it's a good deal. I can go to South Africa and meals are inexpensive. Lodging, depending on where you go, can be inexpensive. Some lodging can be downright bargain, I mean, I can stay in Eiserfontein for a very reasonable price. I can stay in Ceres for a very reasonable price at a safe location with breakfast, So it just depends. But some things are very expensive. Clothing is inexpensive in South Africa, from my perspective. Yeah, BMW's still in Roslyn, but for how long? You're one of the few people without a bias view that actually happening in South Africa. We love the work you do. Hope next time you're in South Africa you make it. I've never been to the Karoo. I've never been to the Karoo, Kevin. Where in the Klein Karoo? Give me a location. I mean, because it's vast, the Karoo. Exactly. But hey, apparently Europeans ruined Africa, and if you're white, you're first seen as European. Never mind your real heritage. Yeah. Chris, you have a heart of gold. When I hear that people treat you like that, it makes me sad and angry. I have an appointment every day. Well, thank you, Amanda Cooper. And people do treat me like that every day. Look at the sunny side, Chica, lying about me. Yeah, so whatever. Those people will rot in hell. Their existence on this planet will be one they regret when they go to an afterlife. I would love travel, but I spend my money on my dogs. Well, if you've got dogs and you love them, that's fine, Sue Marie. It's the choices you make, exactly. But I grew up in abject poverty as my maturation as a young man, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like the fact that I was trapped on a farm in rural Appalachia and couldn't go anywhere. And it was an effort just to get a ride to go play baseball. And I didn't like that. Richie's Delawayo. Thank you, Richie's, for joining us. And Teeny, thank you for your membership. 21 months, Teeny. Wow, that's a while. Graph Renette. Oh, okay. That's not you. That was the other person. The United States currently maintains 4 diplomatic representative offices in South Africa, including Pretoria, Cape Town, Durban, and Johannesburg. That is correct, Vernon. That is correct. But 1 embassy. The rest are consuls. I'm so pissed at the audacity and salty comments on purpose because no one can be that stupid. British flag is a show of patriotism. Exactly. Went to the Bank Home Affairs Day, and there were more people there than at the bank, mostly minorities. Yep. Have you ever spent time in the garden route? Yes, I have, Journey of Faith. I finally got there in 2022. Rob Hutchison and I. Rob drove, and I got to be a passenger as we went. I was on the left side of the car, but that's passenger side there, as we went along the garden route. So I flew from Cape Town to George. Rob picked me up there. We stopped at Elvis's coffee shop right there and tried to get an interview. Then we went to Mossel Bay, stayed at the Santos Express. We had a meet and greet in Mossel Bay. I saw High Marks there, who gave me a tour around the area. Then we went from Mossel Bay along the garden route. Now, the problem is I wanted to go to Neisna, but we didn't really stay in Neisna. We drove right past it, went on to PE. So, yes, I've done that. Yep. I know you dismissed a lot of comments on here, so hoping you see mine. What do they mean by 1,000 Afrikaner refugees by September? Does that mean only 1,000 refugees are accepted? You read the article. Angel, again, I'll have to allow for the fact that some people, like the gentleman earlier, like Saving Private Ryan, maybe English isn't your first language and not understanding. What it means is exactly what it says. 1,000 refugees from South Africa. They're trying, that's their goal, to get over here by 30 September. Our fiscal year runs 1 October to 30 September. There's no budget for the next fiscal year. So they're making a plan on what they have. They probably have another plan, which they're not announcing, going forward for next year. But that means between now and 30 September, they hope to have another 1,000 refugees from South Africa over here. Not Afrikaners, not white people. But yes, most of those people probably will be Afrikaners and be white people. But they're not the only ones. Coloreds, Khoi, San, Indians could all come over here. So that's what it means, Angel. You may have just walked in late, obviously, because we've had this conversation going on for half an hour now, and we moved on from it. Would you ever go to Polokwane, Domingo? Yes, I would, Damien. I was supposed to go to Polokwane and to the Witkreuze Monument in 2023 with the Sightlanders, but they changed the event from Polokwane to Pretoria East. And so I didn't get to Polokwane. I've never been to Polokwane. So my next trip, yes, but I don't know that area, so it'll be something new for me. Rihanna wants, may I please get your Colonel Wyatt song? I have all the others ask, even the mods, and they said they don't have it. From Fontaine. Which one? You mean the Colonel's, which one? You talking about, hang on a second. Is this the one you're talking about? Hang on. Come on. Where's it at? Come on. There, this one here?
Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, that's not one that that's not one that I made. So I didn't have permission to share it with people. So that's why it hasn't been shared. I'll have to get permission from the creator to share it. It was given to me, but I mean, I probably can share it, but yeah. Just like to take a moment and thank you for all your time, opinions, truth about everything, giving us hope and all the effort you put in your channels. You're an angel. Well, thank you, Candace. What's with Christian Mennonites migrating to Angola? I have no idea why they're going to Angola. El Marie's got to go, okay? There are always miserable people, so unnecessary, but we know the truth. Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, cool. Charles Van Onson's here. I didn't even see Charles slip in. Mark Klein, I work on a West Coast on a daily basis, about a 100-mile drive every morning. You need at least a week to cover all the great spots on the West Coast. Mark, thank you, El Marie. Mark, I've been all over the West Coast. Let's just take a look at the map here very quickly here. Maps. Okay, let's go to South Africa. Zoom out. There we go. West Coast. I haven't been very far up the West Coast, though, so let's see. And to Cape Town, IJsselfontein, Langebaan, Saldanha, Velddrift, Piketberg, Citrusdal, Ceres, Tulba. Yeah, so I've been all those places. Not been to Malmesbury. I've been to Wellington, been to Paarl, been to Franschhoek, been to Peniel, Stellenbosch, Simonstown, Hout Bay, Gordons Bay, Somerset West, Sir Lowry's Pass, Betty's Bay, Kleinmond, Botrivier, Greybal, Hermanus, Gansby, Caledon, Stanford. These are all places I've been. Not been to Worcester. I've been trying to get to Worcester for some time. It hasn't happened yet. Anyway. So yeah, I've been to a lot of those places. Oh my goodness, why are people keep asking what's going on at Professor G's channel? Every single day I have to answer this question. He's taking a break. His employer needs him to focus on his job, not on social media. So he's focusing on his job. He's got 2 jobs. The guy's busy. Idaho's shooter was identified as 20-year-old Wes Rowley. Thank you for that. The bunny song. I already shared it, didn't I? But you didn't go to play. It's like you hate me. Oh, dear goodness gracious. I've been to Plettenberg Bay. I drove right by it. I told you that. And Iceland went right by both of them. Were you watching my channel then? Oh my goodness. A lot of you just showed up, you know. Oops. Anyway, country's beautiful, something of everything. I come from north where you've not really seen. Come explore, enjoy. Well, Sumari, yes, I'll admit, Limpopo, not my cup of tea. I've not been there. So when you say the north, my north cut line really is Pretoria. So everything above Pretoria, from Zeerust to Rustenburg to Pretoria to Middelburg to Nelspruit, I've been there. And I've been up a little bit. I went to a game reserve north of Middelburg one time. But that's it. But no, I've never been to Polokwane. I've never been to Louis Trichardt. None of those places. Never been up there. So yeah, that's true. That part of South Africa I don't know. But that's just a little piece of it. So, but yes. Okay. What's this? Mad Max. Did you ever consider running a news scroller message underneath your live stream with updates like 1,000 every story so people can read it all the time? Yeah, people give me a scroll. I can't find an app, an API or whatever that I can put in here. I mean, maybe I need to do some research, but I can't find something that just lets me put it in there. That would be great, especially when I'm doing the news. Yep. That's a really good idea. Thank you, Mad Max. Thank you for the 70 rand. It's a very good idea. Rian says, sorry, missed the videos. Miss whose videos? Oh, you missed his videos, Rian. Don't apologize. No need to apologize. I'm just saying that every day someone's asking that question because they aren't here all the time. Yeah, well, he's taking a break. He wrote to me right after it happened, explained what's going on, but I'm not at liberty to disclose everything. Colonel's been to more places on the West Coast than I have, and I've lived here a long time, says Heinrich. I've never been to Springbok. That's a little way out there. Way out there. Never been there. All right, Storm Chaser, out of here. Tank Fest. No, don't know what that is. Got hives for you to inspect when you come in. I'm going to put you to work. Oh, okay, Milk and Honey. Thank you for that. Just to share the video. It looks really cool. Thank you, Amanda. Well, Ingrid's, I was just in Hunsby in May. I was just there. I went and did the Honeybee Heroes. In fact, I'm waiting for that video to be finished edited. So, geographically, South Africa is pretty cool, but that's about it. You can find everything in South Africa. Okay. Okay. He said, come around to Klerksdorp. I've been invited to Klerksdorp several times, but it's just a little bit too far. Next time, my intent is to get to Bloemfontein, so Klerksdorp will be on the way back up. So, yeah, that's an intent. Used to love tent camping. Not me. I was in the Army. Just my luck, Colonel actually did come to the little town where we live, and we couldn't see him because of the flu. Yep. Nelspruit's beautiful, and we have the Kruger Park. Well, I've never been to Kruger, but I have been in Nelspruit. Sutherland, Clan William. Yeah, Clan William's definitely something I can do. Well, Mark, Hermanus, the whales don't like me. I've been to Hermanus every time of the year. I've never seen any whales. I'm not going to cover the news briefing. Yeah. Name your favorite game. Tank Fest is a tank show where they show tanks and military vehicles. Oh, I don't know that. Yeah, don't know it. News to me. Anyway, so let's go back and check something out here real quick. So not the 90 days. That one, I like the 90 days. Some people liked it, but not much. Not many people said much about it. So I'm not going to find that. Shoot. Huh. Trying to find this now. I got to start putting these in a folder by themselves because it's starting to get out of control here. You know, I'm looking for the wrong thing. That's why. There it is. There it is.
Down by the lot near the old cafe where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunting loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and they're drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks scale? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Then dogs, eights from a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Fight them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair and a high-fi breeze in the summer air. From this line here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Is this the one? That's not the one I like.
Pennsylvania to the heart of the South African fight. We've been a voice to the noise and the madness, shining truth in the darkest of nights. You saw through the smoke and confusion, you call out the games and the lies, while others just watched in silence. You stood tall and opened our eyes. So here's to you, Colonel Wyatt, with your boots on the ground of what's right. You give us more than just headlines, you give us silence and light. To the Africans hearts and the voices unheard, your truth is a powerful song. The refugee stories you carry remind the world where we belong. You didn't come looking for glory, just a man who believes in the facts. And when cows came swinging with fiction, you sent the burger off Bundy to smack him right back. You don't dance with those looking for fire, you just speak for the ones pushed aside. And the mothers and sons and the fathers, they know you're on truth's side. So you see you, Colonel Wyatt, with your boots on the ground of what's right. You gave us more than just headlines, you gave us silence to lie. To the Arakine's hearts and the voices unheard, your truth is a powerful song. The refugee stories you carry remind the world where we belong. Some folks just wanna argue, but they don't have a cause or a plan. You gave them a wink and a bunny said, butter up, I'll stick to the facts, man. So here to you, Colonel Wyatt, may your message keep soaring high. For the land and the people of promise, who refuse to give in or deny. That our kind hearts and the voices on the herd raise a cheer when they hear your name.
You're a soldier, a brother, a fighter, and we're grateful you joined in our fight. Yeah, truth cut, eternal Wyatt, and we'll ride like beside you too.
Yeah, so there's a comment here. Over the weekend, a man and his kid got robbed at gunpoint in the drive-thru at McDonald's in Durbinville. It's easy to blame unemployment, but it's simply because, no, it has nothing to do with unemployment. See, that's a misnomer. See, that's leftist drivel. Poverty does not cause crime. That's a lie. Starvation can cause crime. People are desperate, will steal to eat. But poverty doesn't cause crime. The people robbing you are not poor. They have your resources. They've stolen it. They're lazy. Or just evil. If poverty caused crime, the entire planet would be on fire. Everywhere. Billions of people would be marching and murdering and looting and torturing right now. But that's not the case. Poor people are not thieves. That's a lie. It's a leftist narrative. Poverty causes misery. Absolutely. Unemployment causes misery, but it does not cause that stuff. And Jason says, if I'm honest, what else would you be? This 30% tariffs terrifying. With mass job losses, it might be crime and chaos breaking out. I hope not, but that's what my mind is telling me. Well, I'd be worried about it too. Going to jack up vehicle theft. People can't get parts anymore. Yep. Exactly. So that's that one. And then one more. This is the one I actually like. That one I didn't care so much for. This one I like. It's like the Thompson twins.
In Pennsylvania, where the eagles fly, lives a man of honor with a watchful eye. He tells it straight, no smoke, no spin, with the voice of reason cutting through the din. When souls come round with twisted claims, playing dirty with their games, he don't shout, he don't
Tiffany.
get mean, just lets the truth come
Tiffany, that's good.
clean. So here's to you, Colonel Chris. You tell the stories others miss. From distant lands to hometown fights, you speak the truth and stand for what's right. And when the liars try to make some noise, you bring out the bunny to block their blows. Bugger off, bunny, hop on bow, waving goodbye to every lie. He talks of Africa with heart and grace, of people and power and a wounded place. Not chasing clicks, just making sense, with honor that's calm and intelligence. He stands his ground, won't bend or break. No brides to take, no sides to fake. And if you're here to twist the truth, well, there's a fluffy friend uncouth. So here's to you, Colonel Chris. You tell the stories others miss. From distant lands to hometown fights, you speak the truth and stand for what's right. And when the trolls try to stir up doubt, you bring the bunny and toss them out. Bugger off, bunny, soft but bold, chopping away with lies left cold. Not every hero rides a steed. Some wear boots and plant the seed of courage, care, and speaking plain. You fight the sight, you bear the strain. So here's to you, Colonel Chris, for every hard truth, every risk. With steady hands and a voice so clear, you call it out, we cheer from here. And when the seabirds call from the fog, the bunny's there, that truth-telling log. Bugger bunny is held high, bouncing back every sneaky lie. Yeah, hearts full of thanks we sing tonight. Long live your voice, long shine your light.
Yeah, those were done by someone else and sent to me, one of my viewers. Yeah, back to the question Mark said. Yeah, it is a broken legal system, and I've talked about that endlessly. There is there's no deterrent to crime in South Africa. Gangs and gangsters and mafia run unimpeded. The biggest threat to them is their competition, like Mark Lippman being taken out. That's the biggest threat to them. No, or Brett Kebbell being taken out. It's there's no deterrence. People get life sentences, and it's not a life sentence. They do the most horrific things and they go to prison, they get right back out. Pedos and rapists are back out on the street in short order. And that's the few who get arrested and the few who get prosecuted, and the even fewer who get convicted get sent to jail. I mean, it's unbelievable. There's no deterrent. The moral underpinning of South Africa as a nation is gone. And it's been gone for a number of years. And it's tragic. It's tragic. Because it affects people horribly. Especially black folks. Yep. Anyway. So yeah, it is, you're right. It is, but I'm saying that what I'm saying, there's two different things here. We're talking two different things. You're talking about the legal system's broken. I agree. So there's no deterrent. But people are morally bankrupt. And I was saying that poor people are not thieves. They're only desperate people who are thieves. And being unemployed is not desperate to eat. So anyway, that was the distinction I was making. Mark. Need that on Spotify. I don't know about that. And the N3D Works, you mentioned that you're a gamer. Used to be. What games have you played? I used to play everything. Yeah. Diablo, Hearts of Iron, anything. I used to do a lot of space-based stuff. But, I mean, just the games suck anymore. They aren't very good. Fewer than a person I've seen in March, 15,000 people and the destruction they can cause. If anything, I would hope that people rebel against ANC. Well, that might be coming. Yeah, they're pretty cool tributes, Pearl. They're very nice that people do this. So it's very humbling for that sort of stuff. So, yep. Okay, where did you know about that? What, Fish Eagles? Erica's super chat. Well, Herman had a super chat too. I'll go back and cover those in a few moments, okay? Would love to also hear the song's music by itself, the music's alone. I'm not sure how you do that. Yeah, use the K word and see how well then the legal system works. Yep. Study in 2002 said it would take the world's best government 100 years to recondition South Africa as it was in 2022. Huh. Type by Rammstein is a masterpiece, which the Colonel will make a reaction video to it. I get copyright strikes on reaction videos. I don't do them anymore. Everybody else can make reaction videos and actually play the actual song, and they don't get attacked. I make a reaction video, and I get a strike, so I don't do them anymore. I like your sweater. It's not a sweater. It's a polo. It's from the Rugby World Cup. I bought this on the highway at a petrol station, a Total station on the way down to Marseille. Paul Sullivan was interviewed in Biz News about the criminal justice system and how many cops have been arrested through the work he does. Yeah, a lot. You're a near 50-year decline. Yep. The company I'm working for is in the center where the Nigerian drug lords do business. Oh, you a pack of pistachio jello. Ugh, that sounds terrible. Ugh, Annalie, that sounds terrible. She wrote the Car Guard song. Got to a point where the moral decay of society has led to broken people. Yep. All right. Yeah, I know. Ew, that sounds terrible. Pistachio jello. I'm sorry, that's not good. I'm glad someone else eats it. Astron comes from. Yeah, Astron is Caltex. They didn't buy Caltex. They just rebranded. Caltex rebranded. Astron is horrible. Their color scheme, their stupid name. Caltex. I miss Caltex. They're still around. They're slowly converting all the Caltex stations to Astron. I don't go there anymore. I used to go to Caltex. I won't go to Astron stations. Yeah, I know, Heinrich. I think I saw that during the lockdown. Right. I think I saw that. So, yeah. Fish Eagles. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Fish Eagles. I know Fish Eagles. Yep. How are you going to know you don't take the ANC as refugees there? That's what background checks are for. See, that's people are like, why am I not gone? Why am I still here? Background checks, folks. You know, you have to listen to Baby Wyatt. Baby Wyatt has the answers, man. Baby Wyatt. You just have to listen. I mean, it's just insane. Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Okay, get a grip. I mean, honestly, people have no idea what's involved here. A thorough background investigation must be completed. You have to prove who you are, where you're from, what you're saying is true. That has to take place. There's an administrative process that has to take place. Interviews have to be conducted. Medical screening has to be done. All this stuff takes time. It takes time. Well, it's worse than that, Vernon. There's 28 million people on grants, but that supports over 45, 50 million people. Yeah. Peter Fundeventer loves the songs. Cool. Glad. Always went to Engine. Yeah, I like Engine. That's a South African-Malaysian joint venture. Is Baby White up for adoption? He needs a razor. Baby Wyatt scares you, huh? That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Whoever did that for me, I'm drawing a blank. They sent me a WhatsApp, and I don't have the number saved, and I couldn't remember who it was. They asked me to record some other stuff so I can use that. That's the best rendition of me. It looks like me at that age, minus the mustache and beard. Obviously didn't have this baby. The Bugger Up Bunny turns into the Energizer Bunny. Yep. We'll not let that happen. We support BP all the way. Well, I'm a BP shareholder, just a full disclosure. After the Deepwater Horizon blowout, I bought BP stock. I dropped it $21 a share, and I bought some. Caltex used to have a bunny. I didn't know that. Okay. Try syncing Depeche Mode with Rammstein. Oh my goodness. Yeah, full teeth for a baby. Oh my goodness. All right. So should we wrap it up here, folks? Should we wrap it up here? Let me just check on something real quick. Yeah, last night funny things were happening on the channel. I lost like 24 subscribers almost instantly, but now we're back on track here today. A little slow growth, but we got growth. So let me just check on something real quick. Excuse me. The State Department briefing, has it already started? No, it starts at 2. I'm not hanging around for that. Okay, so let me wrap up here, guys. Okay. It's 8 o'clock patrol time. Okay, well, gotcha. Okay, just want to make sure if we wrap up here. So, Bugger Off Bunny, that's username. That's pretty cool. All right, so let me take care of something here real quick. I want to get to the super chats because there were a couple super chats. I want to get to those very quickly. So the super chats were, so Erica gave one. Mad Max, I got that. Did you consider running a news scroller? We talked about that. If someone's got the tech, can help me out. I appreciate that. Erica says, I sent you a flat photo of Devonna's Bugger Off Bunny on your WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. Erica. Okay. Oh, she's got a Bugger Off Bunny too. Okay. Tell her I said hello. Devonna, that's lovely. It looks like it's gotten a lot of use. It's kind of dirty. Okay. All right, yeah, so got it. Thank you for that, Erica. And then we need to chat about the end of AGOA and tariffs we'll mean for the agri industry in South Africa. Well, I'm happy to do that. I was hoping to do that with Teo Diager, but didn't get an interview while he was here. Anyway, so, but Herman, I don't know if you want to talk to me privately, you want to do it, come on air. I don't know if you want to come on air, you put yourself out there, but I'm happy to chat with you about it. I did you a lower scroller and asked for input and mail, and you never replied. I did reply, Milk and Honey, and it didn't work. Didn't work. Is this the one you gave me? Is this the scroll you gave me? Is that the one you did? Because several people did scrollers for me. Is that the one? I did reply. Yeah, we need to have a more fancy one. Yeah, I said, yeah. Well, that's not the one you did. Okay, well then maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to go back and look for it, okay? Guys, remember, okay, let me just take a look very quickly here before I wrap up. 2,204 emails in one account that are unread, okay? It's a lot, okay? I try, okay? StreamYard is okay. It's not great. It's okay. Yeah, it's got some challenges, but it's better than it used to be. That's for darn sure. But of course, you know, as they made it better, they want money now. So I have a StreamYard account, but I don't use it. So, oh, God bless it, my hip just started hurting like hell. Okay, and it's this hip, not that one. It's my butt, not my hip. What's going on there? Just must have pulled some. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Alan likes that one. Okay. Culinary Pirates. Is that Culinary Pirates that sent me that one? Okay. All right, okay. All right, that's going to do it, folks. Thanks. You guys have a good day. You'll be redirected to Ronaldo if you want to go there. So just hang tight, and you'll be over in Ronaldo in just a moment. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. We didn't get close to 1,000 today. 6,400 viewers and just 843 likes. I didn't even push for likes. All that music and we didn't get any likes. Come on, man. Hit the like button.